Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad the Bard, and today I have the femme fatale from BCBJJ, Raquel, with me, and a giant shout out to our sponsor today. If you guys like horror and creative writing and sci-fi action, check out the website down below from Vedinian. And welcome to the show, Raquel.
What's up?
Dude, so I saw your match at SOGI, and you were killing it, and you ended up getting the gold. Can you tell me what's it like to be a female, to like climb through the ranks and get to like the level that you're at such a young age? Like, you're only 22 right now.
Yeah. So as a girl, it's super unusual because there aren't a lot of us, you know, and there's a lot of purple belt girls coming up. It's pretty difficult because it's hard to get training. Like I was telling you before, like, it was really hard here, like, for a couple years, like, get rolling and stuff. But I have the best teammates who help me, you know, and help me get better.
That's awesome, though. So how long have you been training?
So I started when I was 18. I'll be 23 in January, so, like, 4.5 years. It'll be 5 next year. Nice.
That's awesome. And, like, how long have you been competing? Like, have you been competing pretty much your whole career?
So I barely competed, like, white and blue belt. So I did one tournament, like, about not even a year into white belt, and it went okay. You know, I think I won 2 matches, lost 2 matches. Didn't compete for a while. Competed once at blue belt, and then, like, over a year later, I wound up doing an IBJJF tournament. And it was, like, terrible because the memory just came up on Facebook today.
Oh, man.
So I got 3rd place, lost both matches by sub. And before that match, I was so nervous. Like, I could barely eat for a week, you know, because I hadn't competed in over a year, and I lost very badly. And after that, I was like, all right, well, I need to start competing more and getting better. So then I competed maybe 3 more times at blue belt, and then got my purple belt, and then this past year I've competed like 7 times. So I really didn't compete a lot at white or blue belt. Like, towards the end of blue belt, I started getting better about it, but, like, to be completely honest, like, I had really bad anxiety about competing.
Oh, man.
You know, like.
How did you get over it? Like, because it seems like you ended up figuring out, like, whatever the mental block was, because you're at the game now.
So believe it or not, like, I was at this one tournament. I think it was Grappling Industries, and it was after that IBJJF tournament I did. Yeah. And my one teammate, Robert, kind of yelled at me. He's like, you know, you don't compete very often because you get nervous, and then you go to compete, and then you're even more nervous because you didn't compete for a long time, and that's your issue. And that's a lot of people's issues, and basically what I had to do is just keep competing. Yeah. You know, like, literally, like, I remember my first tournament, I was nervous for an entire week, like, jittery, like, you know, that feeling in your stomach. And that happened, like, a bunch of times. Like, I could barely eat. Like, I would go to the tournament, and I would, like, want to throw up the whole day. Like, I couldn't eat. Like, it was horrible. Like, I got terrible anxiety, like, cold hands, stuff
the
like
clammy.
That. And literally, like, this past year, I've barely gotten nervous at all. Like, I eat the day of a tournament. Like, I'm just ready. Yeah. And I just had to keep doing it over and over and over again. You know? Yeah, it's kind of like dulled your nerves about it. Yeah, and someone, I think it was just like a month ago at Grappling Industries, one of our white belts asked me, he's like, so when did you stop getting nervous before tournaments? And I was like, well, I didn't really stop getting nervous. I just coped with it better. Yeah. You know, I cope with it really well now. Like, I don't really get that nervous, like, a little bit before you go out, because the scariest part is, like, when they call your name to go out. That's when, like, you get that boom, like, boom, slow motion. Exactly. But now it's, like, so much easier. But it was a lot. It was a lot to conquer because I would just get so sick to my stomach. I was so nervous. Yeah. That reminds me, like, when I first started playing, like, open mics, it was the same thing where, and I have a similar thing in jiu-jitsu now, but I remember when I first started, like, I would just, like, bomb on stage because I just was, like, so beat up, and then I'd have to figure out, like, oh man, maybe if I, like, get drunk first, and then that would just ruin it even worse, kind of thing. That would make it worse. It's all about, like, just keeping a level head and everything. Yeah, for sure. You just got to do it more. That's what everyone says, and it's true. You just got to keep doing it and, like, get through that. Yeah. You know? So let me ask you about, like, the rule sets that you prefer and stuff. Like, you said you did the IBJJF thing. Were you like a member
and everything? Like you got like wrapped up in the whole thing?
So that was back at Blue Belt before they required the memberships.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just got my membership this year because we wanted to do no-gi pans.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, or something like that. And I guess registration ended, or I don't even remember. Yeah, I have my membership now, but I never actually did sub only until finishers. It was, I think, finishers 11, which was my first super fight this past February. So that was the first time I did sub
Oh, the one
only.
in like that building that doesn't look too different.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was my first super fight and my first like sub only thing. And basically, I kind of took it on a whim. Mm-hmm. I like accidentally got the match, and I was like, "Hey, Ricky, like Coach Ricky, what's EBI?" Like I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And so I got this match, and Ricky and Eric and Nick, like all three coaches, basically took me aside during class to like work me through what overtime was. Mm-hmm. So, because I had no idea what it was.
Yeah. Did you find that you liked the rule set?
Yeah. Like I found that I tend to do better in sub only. I'm not super good with the points. And then like the overtime thing is just super interesting to me. You know, you could be losing an entire match and then win it in the overtime.
Yeah.
You know. So
like even the SOGI kind of had that same thing. It was interesting to me because like they'll shoot out the entire 2 out of 3 like kind of situation, even if the first person gets a sub.
Yeah.
Do you like that, or you think like whenever the sub happens, maybe that should be like the deciding factor?
That's hard to say. Like, you know, you can win by ride time or like faster submission. Actually, what happened at finishers this past weekend? So in my first match, I won by triangle. The second match went into overtime. And this girl, so I chose defense first, so she took my back, and then she armbarred me pretty quickly. So basically, I had to get the sub quicker than she did. And it seemed fair to me. Like, she got the sub way faster than I did, and she won the match. So it makes sense.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Would you prefer like the EBI rule set versus the IBJJF?
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it about like IBJJF that you don't prefer?
I mean, I've only ever done one of the tournaments, you know, and that's back when I did a lot more gi. That's another thing. So I mostly did gi like for years and years. Like I trained some no-gi, and then my first tournament I competed in no-gi, and then I didn't compete after that.
Yeah.
In no-gi. And then I got this super fight at finishers in the no-gi, and I was like, okay, well, it's been a while, you know.
Yeah.
So I've only ever done one IBJJF, so I've never competed in no-gi there. I know how they are about heel hooks and stuff like that, but...
Yeah. What do you think about them, like, allowing the legalization of the heel hooks now?
It's about time.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Like, I mean, I guess you could say they're a little bit old-fashioned, like not up with the times. I think EBI is a little bit more modern. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you like prefer more modern like styles of everything? Like, do you even compete in the gi a lot?
Well, I did before. I haven't competed in gi in a year now. Like basically exactly a year. But now that I've done so much no-gi, I think I definitely like the modern stuff more, like the 10th Planet stuff. I definitely like want to visit 10th Planet soon. Yeah. And I love like their whole system, all the rubber guard stuff. Yeah, no doubt. Bethlehem's awesome. I've been there several times. JM and Zach Manzolini.
Yeah. Tight ship over there.
Just did the finishers tournament.
Yeah.
Saw them. So.
That's awesome though. Yeah, I didn't get to actually see that finishers comp, but I knew so many people that were there. Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. Finishers runs the best events. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so much fun, and those guys are the best. Mm. Yeah. What do you think it is about, like the promotion of finishers that like sets it aside from like all these other, like, you know, Naga, for example, grappling industries? I think that's like a difficult question because I'm super biased towards them. Like, because they gave me like my first opportunity for a super fight, you know, like that makes sense. Yeah. So I saw like on Instagram, I don't even know why I was following them on Instagram. And I saw like they were doing a 150-pound tournament or something. I was like, oh, hey, I'm 150 pounds. I'm a little lighter than that now. And they're like, hey, like that's for men, but I can get you a super fight. You know, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, that was a big opportunity for me. And it was thanks to them that I got all these other opportunities. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Is there like a promotion you really like to do? What do you mean? Like like, have you done a fight to win yet?
No, so hopefully soon, but with the whole like shutdown, it's gonna be complicated.
No doubt. Yeah, the coronavirus is like.
I would love to do a fight to win sometime soon. Yeah.
That's I know, like, I'm a big fan of their promotions. They put on like a really nice show.
Yeah, I only ever went to one fight to win, and it was just the one that Grace Gundrum was at.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Definitely. They put on like an awesome show. Like, you feel like you're at an MMA event.
So much fun. Like, it's just fun. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully when all this COVID stuff is over, you know.
How did COVID affect you in like your training? Like the lockdown and everything?
Like a really good question. So I didn't train for about a month, like a lot of us, you know, at the beginning of this whole COVID thing. Yeah,
there was a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah. And it, like, not training for a month, because that was like the longest I had went without training, like, this entire time, like, since I started training. And during that time, it was like awful. Like, I had terrible anxiety. Like, I missed it so much. And then my one coach invited my friend Jess and I back in for like small group training. Yeah. And honestly, during that time, a lot of us got so much better. Yeah, right? Because you just kind of, for me, the reason I feel like I ate the same is because I wasn't taking it for granted anymore. Yeah, you know? Exactly. And we've been saying that for months. Like, COVID was like almost a good thing, because this feels like the only normal part of the world. Yeah. You know, you come in here, no masks, like, everyone's just friends. Like, you know, it's like a piece of the old world that we don't have. Yeah. Something I was talking to a friend of mine recently about this too is jiu-jitsu people generally, like, we're pretty clean people. Like, we're scared of staff already. Like, we're all like, yo, do you shower? Like, your hands are clean. Like, you know, what is that? What's going on in your leg? That shit looks like a scab. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, you got the mats clean and everything. I was gonna say, we always joke that like these mats make you immune to the coronavirus. Yeah, seriously, you know? 100%. Yeah, I think. But like, none of us seem to be afraid. You know, like, we don't really care about that. Like, this is, for most of us, like, jiu-jitsu is just a crucial part of our lives. Yeah. You know, like, I know how it was, like, when I didn't train for a month. Like, I had such terrible anxiety, like the worst I think I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, so I just graduated from college in May, and I was like trying to do this online school. Like, I wasn't training, you know, with all this going on, and it was terrible. And then as soon as I was back, like, I felt so much better. Yeah. I can't even explain it. Like, it was really important. Yeah, no doubt. It's one of those things, too, where you don't realize how important it is until it's gone, right? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Like, we all appreciated this way more when we all came back. Absolutely. Like, this is the best place to be, like, in the entire world. Like, I love my teammates. Absolutely. Every single one of them. I remember, like, when, like, I ended up losing my job because of COVID. And one of the things that it made me want to do is just start, you know, traveling around more, because it's like, I have this free time now. Like, what else am I going to do? And I ended up just meeting so many people through jiu-jitsu. So it's crazy what jiu-jitsu can do for you. Oh my gosh. You know? Yeah. It literally, like, has, not to be cliche, but it is so huge. Yeah, but people like we don't talk about it enough. Like, jiu-jitsu changed my entire life. It did. You know, like, I wouldn't be where I am now without it. Yeah, definitely. What do you think? What do you think are like some of the positive things, like, outside of obviously being a lethal weapon? what are some positive things it gave you? I mean, like, it just definitely gave me confidence. In school, I was like always a bench warmer. You know, like, didn't do well in school sports. I quit the volleyball team senior year, like, because I sat the bench the whole time. You know, I never like got that feeling of being on a team, you know, and like, I never got to do well in a sport because I was terrible at them. Like, I went to the gym and I worked out, but like all these team sports, like trying volleyball, like I did softball when I was younger, I was terrible. I just bench warmed. And then like I came to jiu-jitsu, and just by showing up and coming in and putting in the work, like, I got good. Yeah. You know? Definitely. So you said you just graduated college? Congrats. I did in May. Thanks. Where did you go? I went to Albright. Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, like 5 minutes from here. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What did you study? So I study biology and Spanish. Oh, wow. What are you going to do with that? You're going to teach monkeys how to speak Spanish? Yeah. So it's pretty difficult right now because of COVID to find a job. No doubt. You know, I was like 20% of America are like unemployed right now. Yeah. Right? and we're gonna have another shutdown probably.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. Usually it would just happen to fight to win. It's a shame.
Yeah. So I have no idea. Like I was talking about teaching for a little bit. That's gonna be hard right now. Maybe a lab tech job. I don't know. Luckily, my coach gave me a job at his shop, so I work there.
That's awesome.
Basically, watch jiu-jitsu all day with him, and then come to jiu-jitsu. And I work with both of my coaches.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what made you decide to choose that as a major, and a minor?
Oh, it was an accident. Yeah. So I was like a co-major, so they were both my majors. Basically, my mom signed the sheet for me when I enrolled at Albright, and so
was that
she
pre-jiu-jitsu?
What's that?
Was that pre-jiu-jitsu?
No, that was like when I first started. So I did jiu-jitsu like basically all through college.
Oh, nice.
Which definitely made it interesting because I was a commuter too, and then I just came here every night.
Yeah.
So basically, she signed the sheet, and then I started with the biology, and I was like, okay, like I like this. I'm pretty good at it, and I was doing well in it. And then I picked up the Spanish, so just because I had to take Spanish classes, and I wound up loving it.
Yeah,
so.
That's cool. Have you ever been to a Spanish-speaking country?
Yeah, so I was in Nicaragua with my dad. I think it was New Year's, like 2 years ago or something like that. And then I went to Spain when I was like 16. That's
pretty sweet. What was your favorite thing about either of those places?
Nicaragua. That's like a difficult question. Spain was just all around like amazing and beautiful.
I hear great things. Yeah.
Like the architecture and everything, the food. And then Nicaragua is like, it's a poorer country, obviously, but I thought the culture was super interesting there.
Yeah, you find that I haven't been to any like third world countries, but I have a lot of friends that travel to do things like that, and it's crazy how like rich the culture can be.
Yeah,
because they're not tied up with, Instagram.
Yeah, well, they don't have like the modern day problems that we have. Yeah. Like, my car broke down on the way to work. Like there, it's like they probably don't even have a car, Like I was in San Juan del Sur, and it was like all dirt roads. It was awesome, like super laid back, like such an amazing place to be. Like a totally different world than here. If
you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
Oh, I actually don't know. Probably Japan.
Japan?
Yeah, I was in Thailand a couple years ago. Really? That was awesome. That was like the most fun I've ever had.
You do Muay Thai out there?
No. I should have went to like a jiu-jitsu gym or something. That was like the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Like I loved it there.
What brought you to Thailand? That's crazy.
So we had an exchange student that was from there. Yeah.
Nice.
So then my mom, my brother, and I all went to visit him. And then she like works with someone who's from there, so he went too. It was awesome. That's pretty interesting. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. What about Japan? Like you watch anime and stuff?
No, I do not. My brother does. Yeah. I took like this Japanese culture class in college. That was really cool. Yeah. Yeah,
I have a lot of friends that have been there. The food, like I'm like a pescatarian, so I love fish.
Oh yeah.
Man, like anytime I see anything from Japan that's like a cuisine.
Have crazy food.
Oh, I know. It's it's so fresh too. Hell yeah. So what do you do outside of jiu-jitsu for fun? Like, do you have any hobbies?
Oh, man. I was hoping you wouldn't ask that.
Oh, man.
We were actually talking about this the past couple of days. We were talking, like, if you want to do jiu-jitsu really seriously and be, like, a competitor, you kind of need a hobby to do for fun.
To balance you out. Yeah.
I have so little time these days. I don't really do much outside of jiu-jitsu because I feel like a lot of my life is jiu-jitsu. Like sometimes I play video games. Yeah, but
that's about it.
Yeah.
What do you play? What games you playing?
I did a lot of Warzone. Played Warzone a lot. All right.
That's popular.
With some of my friends. Call of Duty. I got to get back into it. It's been a little bit, but
you ever play Titanfall?
No.
Oh, you got to play Titanfall. It's like Call of Duty, but you have giant robots you can get in. What's better than that?
During quarantine, I played so much Warzone. Like, that's like all I did. I would stay up till like 3 a.m. because nobody else had anything to do. Yeah. So everyone else was playing Warzone.
Just sleeping in.
Yeah.
I remember I've been there. The video game addiction stuff is real. It's pretty concerning, honestly. Like right now with like the modern times.
I know, and a lot of people are stuck at home. Like young kids and stuff too.
Definitely. Do you have any advice for anyone like that's like caught up at home that maybe is a jiu-jitsu person that maybe is scared of like getting out? Like, do you have any advice for those people?
Honestly, like I really struggled when I didn't get to do jiu-jitsu and I had to stay home, you know, but like just keeping yourself busy is super important. Like even if you're playing video games or like going on a walk or whatever, you just have to keep yourself busy. You can't, and don't sleep too much.
Yeah.
Definitely don't sleep too much because that makes like anxiety and depression way worse.
Yeah. I could see that, like, just especially if you have the curtains over the window and everything, you're not getting any sunlight in your life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I have so many friends that are just, they're so scared of the quarantine situation, like with the coronavirus, that they don't want to come out, and they're already like unhealthy friends of mine.
Yeah, and I understand that.
Yeah, it's scary, and it's one of those things where I do jiu-jitsu, and I'm constantly like incubating all my friends' bacterias because I roll with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like everyone that if I'm gonna get sick from, I already have all their germs on me on a regular.
Talking about that a lot too. You know, there's some people, you know, they haven't left the house in months. You know, they're really good about their masks, and then we're in here like rolling with everyone. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, none of us have gotten sick, but...
Yeah, and even if they do, like, it's about being responsible. Like, even if you have staff, it's like, yo, I have staff, I don't want to roll.
Like, tell people, you know, get tested, do what you can. I mean, a lot of people are getting, you know, COVID now, so... Yeah.
Do you think it's like do you think it's as serious as everyone's saying? Like you know a lot about biology, a lot more than me. Like, so I'm just curious, like, your take on the whole situation.
I mean, I don't really know enough to say anything about it, you know. So my mom is a doctor, and you know, she takes it very seriously.
That's awesome. Like, what is she seeing in the area? Like, I don't know. I'm not a medical expert in the Reading area in Berks County, so I can't say. Is it like, I know it was like pretty bad in like I don't know, maybe around like the springtime. Like there was like a spike around.
I haven't actually talked to her about it a lot recently. I don't know what it's like around here right now, but I know that the numbers are definitely going up.
Yeah, like in Philly, right? Yeah, especially. Yeah. That's it's really a shame, like the lockdown stuff coming back up. I think you know, the mask thing is pretty important too. Like everyone's got to be responsible with like spreading it, but at the same time, like I think like when they shut down like the Fight to Win thing, it was just like concerning to me because I'm like, look, what did SOGI do, right? Like, once you got your match done, you got out of the building. Like, there's ways to do it.
I'm so torn about it. Yeah. I am, because I do think people should take it seriously, you know? But then again, at the same time, like, how long will this go on? You know, when will it be normal again? Like, I worry about people, like, who really suffer with mental health issues and stuff like that. People who have businesses, like I'm not in their shoes, you know, but I'm also not in the health workers' shoes. So. Yeah,
definitely. And I have friends like in both worlds. Like I can say like myself, like I ended up losing my job because of this. Yeah. So that part of it's definitely real. Like I know so many people that are unemployed now. Like job cuts are real. You're seeing it everywhere. And then, you know, you have benefits too. Like my girlfriend, for instance, like she's working from home a lot now, which is really cool because it's like, why did you need to go in the office the whole time anyway?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I don't know. Like I was having this conversation with a couple of jiu-jitsu guys too. It's like, what is going to be normal after this? I don't think like we're going to get back to normal.
'Cause I'm like, will it like actually ever end?
Yeah. I think it's just like it's going to morph into something new. Like we're going to just continue to compromise until there's a new way of life.
Yeah.
I just hope, you know, jiu-jitsu's not affected.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely worried about that. You know?
So like that month that you weren't training, were you subscribing to anything like online or anything like that?
Not really. So what I was actually doing, so my friend Jess was actually like working out with me, and she would come to my house and we would lay a blanket in the yard and we started like drilling together and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah. So I don't watch like a ton of jiu-jitsu. I definitely watch more now. Yeah. But back then it was not fun. I was preoccupied with school too, like trying to adjust to that online learning.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I can imagine. That's one of those things. Like I remember like I went to school for IT, and man, there's something about like studying in a classroom where like you can actually kind of be somewhat engaged. Yeah. But man, like listening to some dude talk about like how the internet works over like the computer,
Oh yeah,
it's like, dude,
it is
put a
so
bullet
hard
in my
to pay
brain.
attention.
Yeah,
like online learning, it's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's some subjects I think that can be really engaging, like when you have good projects. But man, like even my son, it's interesting. They gave him a laptop, and he was like going to school from home, like, and he's like 11 years old. I'm like, man, I don't think kids that young are responsible enough yet.
I think about that a lot. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, man, we got to get him back in as soon as we can, because he has to socialize, like to become.
That's another thing. So we started our kids class here. I was like, I asked, like, are any of you like in school full time? And basically none of them were. And like, I was like, wow. So this is like the only place you guys really get to socialize. Yeah.
And then think about their classmates that all they do is, they get done with that and then they're just playing like on their Switch or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Kids
it's crazy
don't
to think.
exercise or anything.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that part of the world. It just like in America, that sect of people that, they're people that are just homebodies,
Yeah.
Those are the people that I think are under the most threat from this entire thing,
Oh, for sure.
It's crazy how much athleticism and, getting out in the sunlight, getting that vitamin D. It is.
Yeah, that's why, like, when we started kids class, like, I had to keep it very light, like, made sure, like, they stretched and everything, because I was like, have these kids, like, done anything? Like, they don't have gym class, you know? So
how often is the kids class in here?
Right now, we're just doing 2 days a week.
I think that's actually pretty common. I think that's the same at my gym.
We used to do like 4 days a week, and then COVID happened, so we're easing back into it now.
Yeah, so at least you're getting the class, like some classes out.
Yeah, I've been teaching kids class a long time, and then I had this huge gap, Yeah,
man, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, let's go back to like. Your jiu-jitsu career here. So do you have any like matches you want to like get a rematch on? Like if you could get any rematches?
Oh, absolutely.
Who would you rematch?
I just had
Who's the grudge match? Who we getting after?
So I just had a super fight in Allentown at the Fuji tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had this insane match with this girl, Chrissy, who's like super good from Padilla. Yeah, she's awesome. And I've rolled with her. Like I rolled with her like one time before that, and I would love to go against her again because the match was just super, hardcore and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching her. Actually, I met up with her this weekend. I was with like Eric Naples, Jess Bermudez, Ellis Karadag, and her. And like we were rolling and stuff, and like man, her energy is really good. Like I could see like it's so cool to watch. Like it's not any different in like a competitive female to a competitive male. Like you're getting after it. It's the same energy. It's so cool to see that. The vibe in the gym. Like it doesn't segregate anybody.
Like
when you're going after it.
So crazy. Like a lot of people said we had like the match of the night. And let me tell you, I was like super exhausted afterwards.
That's awesome. She just actually beat me at a challenge. We were playing poker, and I made her a bet, and she ended up beating me there. So Chrissy beat both of us recently. No, but that's awesome. I would definitely look forward to that match after watching you just kill it at the SOGI. Like I feel like both of you guys are like at like a good point in your careers.
There's a lot of purple belt girls right now, like really coming up, who are like doing very well and really putting themselves out there. So
definitely. Is there any match that you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
I can't think of any off the top of my head, Yeah. Because there aren't a lot of girls, there's not a lot of girls competing.
Yeah, it's definitely, even in our gym, like we have very few females, and none of them really compete. Not nearly as much as like the guys. Like the competitive atmosphere in my gym is like all the guys are like, oh, you ain't competing, you pussy, whatever.
Yeah, there's only usually like a couple of girls per gym who compete and stuff. So there are very few of us, especially like at my weight and stuff like that. Because I like, even at the SOGI tournament, like some of those girls were like super good, and like I would love to like have a match with them, but like
the weight differential is crazy.
That's the issue.
Yeah, 100%. Why do you think, like, what got you into jiu-jitsu?
What got me into it? So I was like dating this guy at the time, and he brought me in, and then I don't really know how to explain this. Like, a lot of people ask me this question. They're like, oh, like, what got you into it? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't. Like, I just started showing up. I was really bad.
Yeah.
I was like 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get better. You know, I was like, all right, I was really bad at everything else in my life, so I might as well just give this a try.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, like I didn't get to play sports. Like, I sat the bench in a lot of them. Like, you know, I really struggled with sports and, you know, athletic things.
It's cool that you identified, like, once you got, like, the knack for this and you kind of picked it up. Yeah. That's pretty awesome that, you, like right now, like, you're at the head of, like, you know, you're at the top of your game right now. Like, you're doing some really cool stuff. You're accepting some matches against some, like, really serious people, and you're young as hell. Like, you have a long way to go.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the girls I go against are a lot older than me. But yeah, like, I never thought I was athletic, and maybe I'm not. I don't know. I guess I have to be a little bit athletic until, like, I started doing jiu-jitsu. You know, like I said, like, it gives me confidence. Yeah. You know, I still have, like, a long, long, long way to go. Like, this is just the beginning. But yeah.
So I'll ask, like, a question that I want the answer to. So it's really hard for me to get my girlfriend into the gym. How can guys out there that have girlfriends that don't train, that, like, come to the gym and, like, maybe give them a good impression of jiu-jitsu?
This is so funny that you're asking this, because him and I were just talking about it today. So if you bring your girlfriend in, don't be partners with her.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like,
what if she's like anxious, like you were saying, and like that she doesn't want anything to do?
If she is, which I totally understand, like, it's better to, like, let her branch out and, like, learn from other people, you know, because, like, as, like, a guy, like, you're gonna be maybe too nice to her, stuff like that.
100%.
We were just talking about this today. I would say, like,
do you put, like, would you put, like, your girlfriend with maybe, like, another female, or, like, if there's no females? Yeah.
So bringing women into the gym, you need to have, like, other females there.
Would you maybe recommend, like, having them bring a friend? Because I've had that happen where, like, maybe they don't take it seriously. Like, now they have a friend to, like, be a bum with and, like, not train with, and they'll just talk the whole time. Like, I've seen that. I've seen that happen.
Like I just told you, my friend Jess, who's in here, we're not allowed to be partners because we talked. So I'm just saying, like, maybe be partners with the male. I'm not saying be partners with a 250-pound white belt male. Yeah. But, like, be partners with the small guy in the class. You know, that's what I do a lot, because you get good training. They're about your size, and you're not afraid to, like, throw them around. Yeah. You know, that's another thing. Like, as a girl, you can't be afraid to just throw people around. Like, even if it's your friend, if it's your boyfriend, if it's another girl, like, you need to work hard. Like, you have to roll hard. You have to drill hard. You know, and I think that's something, like, a lot of girls struggle with, you know, especially if you're rolling with a female friend. Like, you know, you don't want to beat them up. Yeah. And even if you're rolling with your boyfriend, like, you don't want to, like, or he doesn't want to beat you up.
Yeah. You can't take it as seriously.
So that's why you just got to make sure, like, you're rolling with all different kinds of people. Like I said, don't roll with, like, the brand new gigantic white belt. Yeah. But you need, like, a variety of rolling. Yeah. And honestly, like, in here, like, all of the guys in here are fantastic with the girls. You know, I always say, like, go roll with him, because they're all great. You know, they can give you a good roll. They're not going to hurt you. And that's what's important. Yeah.
How can, like, you know, I don't know. I've only ever heard of this. I've never actually, like, met, well, there's no girls in my gym, I can say, at least, that have this, but I've heard that, like, females have had bad experiences in some gyms where there's, like, creepy guys. Like, how can you vibe that out? Have you ever had that experience in jiu-jitsu? I feel like it's not as common as some people might think.
I'm sure it is common, you know.
Sometimes it just depends on the gym, probably. Yeah.
You know, because I've had, like, a situation like that, like, where somebody was, like, kind of weird towards me, but I didn't want to say anything. Yeah. You know, and it does happen. But that's why it's important to be really assertive. Yeah. You know, and if you can't be assertive, like, find someone else who is. Like, you got to tell people. Yeah. You know, like, go to your coach or whatever. Like, I know, like, if any girl in here had a problem, and, like, they told, like, one of our coaches, like, it would be solved immediately. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we have, like, the best guys ever. Yeah, that's awesome. How can you kind of, like, vibe that out? Like, can you like, are there, like, signs, like, that guy's gonna be fucking weird? Yeah, it does happen, because we, like, very rarely, and, like, not currently. Like, we have had, like, people be kind of weird. I mean, I guess there's really no way to tell, because it kind of, like, that situation can make it awkward for other guys who ask you to roll.
Yeah.
You know, because they're like, well, I don't want to be creepy,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I want to ask
that
you
guy's
to roll.
killing the whole vibe in here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to have a good, like, training atmosphere.
Yeah, like, I'm letting you know, like, any guy who asks me to roll in here, like, I'm not worried if he's going to be weird. Like, I'm just going to really roll hard with him.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, and that's also why, like, it gives you so much confidence. Like, if there is, like, a new guy in here who's weird, like, I'm not worried.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, that's really cool. Yeah, it's just interesting. Like, you know, that's something where, like, a female might worry about that, where I wouldn't. But it seems like you're really confident. It's crazy how jiu-jitsu, like, I feel like because you're such a talented jiu-jitsu practitioner, like, it doesn't even bother you that, like, someone might be like a fucking creep or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I understand why it would bother other girls.
Of course,
and
especially if they're new, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely, like, something to be wary of, but I'm not worried about my girls, because, like, if something happens, like, tell me.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Have you ever had to use jiu-jitsu in, like, a real world scenario?
I have not, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I hope I never have to use it.
Yeah, for sure. I was having this conversation with another friend of mine, I think on the podcast, and, you know, he told his story, but he asked me, and I was like, you know, I never had to use it because I'm a pretty, like, diplomatic person. Like, there's situations where, like, if I was a you know, as much of an asshole as the person that was the provocateur, it would have, like, probably happened. But I'm usually a person that can talk my way out. Like, I don't want to break you.
Yeah, that's a good way to be. Like, you know, especially when you, like, do compete and see how scary it is and stuff. Like, competing, like, on soft mats with someone your gender and your weight. Like, you're like, I never want to fight on the street.
Yeah. For
like,
real.
I said, like, I would get nervous really going against a girl my weight, my rank, you know, on the mats with referees. Like, I definitely don't want to be out in the street, like, rolling with a guy. Like,
on the concrete, right?
Yeah,
it's like street.
Absolutely not. Like,
that's rough.
I think jiu-jitsu, like, is really good for self-defense, but, like, last resort.
Yeah.
You know, like,
definitely.
If you ever end up with, like, in a situation where you're on your back and, like, getting attacked, like, I think it would be fantastic for that sort of situation.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Have you done any other martial arts?
Sort of. Like, when I was in junior high, I actually did some karate. You know how that goes. Maybe for, like, 2 years. And then when I got into high school, I started boxing for a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I had to get my deviated septum fixed in May.
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
sure that's why. Yeah, but other than that, not really.
How long did you box?
Not very long, like less than a year, you know.
Yeah, I did a little bit of boxing myself, like before jiu-jitsu, and I wasn't the best at it.
There aren't girls that do it. Maybe more so now, but before, like, getting sparring and stuff was very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No doubt. What was it about, like, striking versus, like, grappling that maybe, like, turned you on to this more than the boxing did?
I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I don't want to get punched in the face. You know, like, that's not fun. And with grappling, like, you get to, like, it doesn't really matter your size. Like, size does matter, like, you know, your weight and strength and stuff like that. But, like, I can come in here and roll with all of the guys, even if they're over 200 pounds. In boxing, like, I can't box a 200-pound guy.
You're not
like,
boxing
I
Mike
get
Tyson.
one punch to the face and I'm done. Like, you know.
No
so
doubt.
this has, like, live rolling every day. You know, like, you get to practice it every single day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you feel like it's necessary to have, like, some striking background with jiu-jitsu for self-defense?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Yeah.
Would you ever do an MMA fight?
Somebody just asked me. I feel like I've had multiple people ask me about this. No. Nope. I don't want to get hit in the face.
Yeah.
You know, I did get my deviated septum fixed in May.
Yeah.
You know, that was not fun.
Damn.
I wore a mask for training for 6 weeks. Right before my second finisher's super fight. I wore, like, you know, like the mask that they wore, like, I think it was LeBron James, right? When he broke his nose.
Oh, I feel
like plastic mask. I wore that to protect my nose.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
It was crazy.
Would you ever do a street beefs?
What is that?
You don't know what street beefs is?
No.
Oh man, dude, that's like 3 people in a row on my podcast that doesn't know what that is. So it's like these it's in like Georgia, I think, or like Alabama. Apparently there you can do unsanctioned fights without like, the UFC, like all the legal stuff. You can just do it in like your backyard, and they have this place called Satan's Backyard. It's like a dirt patch, and they just let these like random people fight.
That sounds terrible.
It's hilarious. It's actually fun. I'll send you one. Eric, have you seen street beefs? Is it like yeah, kind of. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send you guys some later. They're so funny, like, cause a lot of the time it's random people that like with very limited martial arts backgrounds, and they're just like doing the craziest stuff. Yeah. Like there's this one guy that's like a really heavy dude that did karate in there, and he just yeah, basically Kimbo Slice, exactly. So funny. I'll send it to you. You'll laugh. Maybe you'll laugh. That's funny though. Yeah, you don't want to get punched in the face. Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever considered like doing like your own kind of like what do you call it? Where you teach at other places, like, what I mean?
Seminars.
Yes,
and stuff like that.
The word escaped me.
The cool thing is, like, for women, there's like a lot of opportunity with that.
I feel like there would be, right?
So one day when I'm a black belt, hopefully I'll be able to do that kind of stuff. I got to get better at teaching. I actually like got to teach 2 classes, like adult classes recently, which is really fun.
Yeah,
it was so
definitely
scary because like I'm like the smallest higher belt in here. Like other than like, I mean, we have some small girls and stuff, and I was like teaching all these big guys in class. It was really weird.
That's who was your uke? Another girl?
What's that?
The person you were demoing on? Was it another girl?
No,
you had a guy?
Oh, I think I used our other higher belt. He's a purple belt. His name's Justin. He's like my size.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we have a lot of big people here.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'd never done a class at BCBJJ before, but that warm up killed me, I will say.
Oh yeah, that warm up was rough.
But yeah, I was just discussing with Eric, like the dynamic range of people you have in here is pretty crazy. Like you had all different size white belts, all different size, every like so many different belts too. It's really good. Like the quality of training in here, I could definitely like see.
Oh
it's
yeah,
really
that's
good
awesome.
in here.
Like I said, we have so many big people.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like the people we do have, like they just want to be here all the time.
Yeah, definitely. How do you like as a female, like that's you're not 200 pounds.
Yeah.
How do you vibe out like which training partners are the best ones to like consistently use for competition? You know what I mean?
So I really struggle with this. Eric over there will tell you that I do a lot of rolling that I probably shouldn't do, because I roll with a lot of big people and a lot of big new people just because it's fun.
Yeah.
And somebody like my size really shouldn't be doing it as frequently as I do because, you have a higher risk for injury.
Definitely,
but also,
Like,
it doesn't really help me like for competition training, because I'm never going to go against a 200-pound male strength, white belt.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be rolling with the 200-pound guys. However, like I said, like we have some smaller guys that are super good, and they're the best training for me. Like
Definitely.
I need to focus on rolling with like smaller people, just so I don't get injured.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said, I'm not very good about it because I just roll with anyone.
No, I can't say I'm too different. I definitely like if someone wants to roll, I'm like, oh, let's go.
Oh yeah, I always say yes, and that's my problem. Like I should not be doing that.
That's funny.
But it's so fun.
It is. It is. Especially because you never know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
It's like jiu-jitsu is like a box of chocolates.
It's so true. Yeah, like some of like my craziest rolls are with like some of the white belts, because you're like literally fighting for your life.
Yeah.
You're like, this person wants to hurt me.
Yeah, they don't know what, like, I remember it's so funny. One of our guys was going into the military. He's actually in like his boot camp now. But I remember when he first started, like he was squaring up and he's like, I'm not allowed to hit, but all I feel like I can do is hit. And I'm like, dude, just relax. Fucking relax, my God.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of crazy white belts that just want to hurt you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So what's your ratio of like how you train? Do you think like you train more with drilling? Do you think you're more of a like flow roll person, or do you like think live rolling is like your main thing?
I'm super like rolling oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I do a lot of drilling because I do class 4 days a week, like all the classes. So I do a lot of drilling, but I have a really hard time paying attention. I'm not very good at drilling. Like I'm always on like a different planet.
Yeah.
Like then when it comes to
especially
rolling,
if like you come just from work, I've been there where it's like you see the thing and you're with your partner. It's like, dude, you got to go first. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, that's me every single day in here, like every single day. So I'm definitely more rolling oriented, and then like I love to roll like really hard and seriously, you know, which isn't always a good thing because you know you start to wear yourself out a lot, but. I don't do a lot of flow rolling. That's not exactly my cup of tea, you know, and drilling, like I do it as much as I can. But at the end of the day, like I roll like so much. Like that's my thing. I just love to roll.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you were going to give advice to like an up and coming like female grappler around your weight, like your age, what would you tell them? Like if they wanted to compete and, you know, become like a champ like you?
I would say, like, first of all, like, prioritize your health. Like, I'm definitely not the best with it. And, like, I kind of injured my hip last week.
Oh, man.
You know, like.
I know how it goes.
Just make sure you work out and stuff. But rolling is super important, you know. So after I lost that long time ago at IBJJF, like, got destroyed, I made it a goal to get 4 rolls per class. And not just, like, you know, like a joke roll and like 3 other laid back ones, like 4 really hard solid rolls. Yeah. And I like do a similar thing. Like even now, like I try to get like 4 or 5 really, really good rolls in, you know, some nights you might only get 3 in, 2 or 3 in, but if they're like really hard, good rolls, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like just make sure you keep rolling, be smart about it, but just roll.
Definitely. Do you have any like tricks that you like you wear like certain kinds of spats and stuff? You'd like tie your hair in any specific ways to avoid like anything like that?
So first of all, hair is the worst thing.
I imagine.
So this is literally how I don't have my braid, but I always wear it in a ponytail and then I braid it, and that's like the best way to keep your hair. I have like super fine hair. It gets torn out in clumps. Oh, I
bet. I know when I roll, Nicole's like the main like girl at our gym that we roll with, and I know like when I get side control and I'm about to like get head and arm control, I'm like, do you want to just
tearing the hair out?
Do you want to just lift your head so I don't want to pull your hair?
I'm super familiar with that. Yeah, like when I get my hair done, they're always like, why is there so much breakage on the ends here? Like right underneath. I'm like, because it gets torn out every single day. You know, even like competing, like it's super hard to have long hair like this.
No doubt.
You know, like, so I just put it into a braid and this is what I do every day. You know, I still have jiu-jitsu hair right now. Also, so for no-gi stuff, because I've been doing a lot of no-gi, I found that shorts are like the best. Because the problem with like wearing leggings like this is they fall down, like they're see-through and stuff. And also, women's spats are super expensive. So I just started buying like men's shorts.
They're great.
Yeah, grappling shorts are amazing because they don't fall down in competition.
Yeah.
And I really don't want my pants to fall down when I'm rolling in a tournament, especially if it's live streamed. You know?
100%. I actually did that to a guy one time. It was Grappling Industries. This is pretty funny. I can probably pull up the video if you want to see it. But I ended up getting the guy in a guillotine. And I had like, you know, I was arching my back and stuff, and then I ended up pulling his pants down while I was doing it. Yeah. So he tapped out and his ass was out, mooning the crowd.
That's my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear. That's why I wear shorts so much.
Yeah.
You know,
the shorts are the best. Yeah.
Way more bruises all over my legs.
Yeah.
But
Well, don't you feel, in my experience, like I have hairy legs, so maybe it's different for girls, but I feel like I have way better traction. Like I've been doing a lot more leg entanglement stuff lately. Man, shorts are the way, because it's like it's basically like having a sweaty leg, having some nice spats.
It's more painful because, you know, like shaving your legs and then it's just straight friction.
Oh, I bet.
You should see the bruises I have sometimes. Like if I'm like training really hard for a week, my whole legs are just covered.
Yeah, that's funny.
I bruise easy too. Most girls do.
Like a banana.
Yep, so bad.
That's funny. Do you have any like piercings or anything?
So I actually used to have a lot. Not a lot, but pretty many when I first came in. I had my belly button. I wound up taking that out because I do not want it to get torn out. And I can't put the belly button ring back in. I used to have 7 up this ear.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I had like this, like my tragus, I think it's called, and like my cartilage, and 3 on the lobe. And I wound up taking them all out, and they're all filled up now.
Yeah. What advice would you give like a female that's into jiu-jitsu, but maybe like they don't want to like lose the jewelry or something?
Take it out.
Yeah, take it out.
100%. I do not understand how women could have any sort of piercing, especially on the ears.
For
belly
real.
button, I can see.
This is the cauliflower ear. Woo.
Yeah, like I could see like the belly button maybe, but I took mine out because I'm not risking it. But definitely take everything out. Like, unless you just like want to watch people roll, but it's not worth it, you know, like because my ear gets scraped all the time. Like I'm getting some cauliflower ear and stuff. Yeah,
it happens to the best of us. I know that's one thing. Even before I did like any martial art, I remember like as a kid I would always like look at people with piercings. I'm like, so you're just adding a weakness on your body, because if I punch that, you're gonna bleed immediately.
I know,
like, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, like the piercings in martial arts.
Oh yeah, you gotta take them out. If you want to like take jiu-jitsu seriously. Maybe some people can keep them in, but I definitely wanted to take them out. That's a huge fear of mine, getting it ripped out. Like my belly button, like.
That's a very like justified fear.
Oh yeah. I used to keep it in, I think, but not anymore.
So do you have any like sponsors or anything?
I do not, no.
Would you like sponsors? Like,
is that
I something
would
you're
love,
interested in?
you know, like eventually, like please.
That's cool. Do you have like gear that you wear specifically? Like right now, like my favorite gi, it's like a cheap Amazon gi, but it's my elite gi. This one breathes so nice. I love this gi.
Oh yeah, actually I have a King's gi. It was a hand-me-down from Coach Ricky. It was like
hand-me-down gis are pretty good gis.
I've been getting a lot of hand-me-down stuff.
Free stuff's my favorite stuff.
So much of it, because whenever people have stuff that shrinks, I take it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I'm tall, but like, you know, I'm horizontally challenged. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
I have this one King's gi that fits me so well. Like this, it's actually the one I wore tonight.
Oh, the white one?
Yeah, it was the hand-me-down, and it fits me better than any of my other gis. And then I have like one lanky one that's awesome, you know, because like I said, I'm super lanky, so that helps. And then in terms of like no-gi stuff, I get so many hand-me-downs. Yeah. I have like these Fuji shorts that I really like.
Yeah. I think I can't remember the brand of like my favorite no-gi shorts, but I have like 2 pair that are like black. One's black, one's white, and they're just the best. Anytime I compete, I wear those.
Yeah, Fuji shorts I like always wear to compete.
Fuji is like your favorite brand? Like if you were gonna like go out of the way to get something?
Definitely one of them. I don't know if I really have a favorite, just because I have, like I said, I have a variety of things from all different people.
That's so funny. It's interesting. Like I know my girlfriend, for instance, she does like obstacle course races, like Spartan races and like CrossFit stuff like that. And she's all about like the gear and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just here to train kind of thing.
That's how I feel. Yeah. And I'm definitely like, I didn't have like any stuff before, you know, especially no-gi stuff. And then I got all these hand-me-downs, and I was like, honestly, this is really cool now that I'm getting all this stuff. Yeah,
no doubt. Do you feel like the gear matters that much?
To a certain degree. Like, I'm not saying like you have to go out and buy like $50 rash guards and stuff, but like I used to roll in t-shirts. That doesn't work.
Of course.
And like I said, like rolling in actual grappling shorts versus like a pair of leggings you bought at Target makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So like I'm not like a legging person. Can you kind of like elaborate on that? Like what's the difference between like jiu-jitsu like leggings versus like, you know, Target leggings?
So I've never bought a pair of jiu-jitsu leggings. I was a poor college student.
Yeah.
You know,
we're not so different.
You know, I didn't really get any hand-me-downs from the guys.
Yeah.
In terms of leggings.
Yeah.
You know,
they're expensive. I don't know that many guys that wear them.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can count on like 2 hands how many I know.
Yeah, like I've never had like a pair of like jiu-jitsu leggings, but I'm sure I would have the same problem where they keep falling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right, that's cool. So do you use any like specific soaps and stuff? Like I know there's like that's a huge thing right now. Like
that just
soap.
Reminds me. Yeah. So Ricky, my coach and boss, ordered a bunch of stuff from the Armbar Soap Company. I've heard their stuff is super good.
Yeah, I use their stuff actually. That's my favorite stuff.
I've never tried it.
It's so good. It's like
it
leaves your skin feeling fresh after. Like it's got like tea tree oil. Like I don't know if you know what that is.
He ordered like a bunch of stuff from them and was like saying how good it was. So yeah, the light went off again. There we go.
No, that's cool. Did you see the recent post I made with Ellis Karadag doing the Hadouken thing?
I think I did. Yeah, I like glanced at it briefly.
That's what do you think about people that do like I don't know, taunting in like competition?
I don't really know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's not your bag. Like it's definitely not something you do.
No, because like I mean, every girl I've ever won against was like. We always had like really good sportsmanship and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've never like personally had an experience with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely see way less females like doing stuff like that. It seems like you guys almost take the sport more seriously.
I know. They claim like girls are meaner. And
I could believe that, like on the mat.
Yeah. But then again, at the same time, I've never had a girl like do anything like, mean. I've never done anything mean. But then again, like in the past year, like all the girls I went against were just awesome.
Arm bars are pretty mean, Raquel.
Yeah, they are. They can be.
That's funny as hell though. Do you think what was like one of your favorite matches? Like can you run me through like one of your favorite like competition matches? Like, yeah, like what made it special?
So my first finishers match. So that was like my first super fight. I was like, I had no idea what I was doing, kind of.
How old were you at the time?
What's that?
How old were you at the time?
That was just this year because it was my first super fight. Because like I said, like this was the first year I've ever like done a super fight. Yeah. So it was this girl, Laura Griffith, who I've been seeing. Like I just saw her 2 weekends in a row because she was also in the 155-pound bracket.
Yeah. I remember.
She's awesome. We had a really crazy back and forth match. Like she was going for subs. I was getting out. Like I was going for subs. It was awesome. Yeah, like it was a really, really fun match. I remember like the whole crowd was like super loud. Yeah. I had like a triangle in the last like 5 seconds.
Oh man, those are the clutch wins or like the craziest.
She got me
ones.
in like a crazy armbar and like I had to hitchhiker escape super fast out of it. It was a crazy match. Yeah, and it was the first time like my mom came to watch me.
Oh yeah, that'll turn up your heat a little bit more.
Yeah, well, she never watched me do jiu-jitsu, and then it was like this event, and then I had this super crazy match, and it's like, here, Mom, here's every submission. Sorry.
Run her through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, do you find inspiration from anything maybe like not so conventional for your jiu-jitsu? Like for me, like. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Like I've always been a comic book guy growing up. So like, fighting crime has always been a thing. Self-defense like is vicariously like a thing I've always wanted to adopt through that. Yeah. But do you have anyone that like inspired you kind of like that's like maybe a strange thing that people wouldn't guess?
Honestly, like I can't really think of anything. Like I remember like being younger, like I always wanted to do karate and stuff. It sounds really stupid, but I watched The Karate Kid. Yeah, and then definitely. I really wanted to do karate because of that movie. That is the reason I joined when I was like 12, and I loved it. Like, even though like karate is kind of like silly, stuff like that, like I loved it. Like I had so much fun. Like that's when that kind of stuff sort of interested me. Yeah.
I feel like maybe, I can't speak for you, but I think even traditional martial arts like karate and stuff like that, they give you a foundation of like that discipline and like that respect that it kind of transcends the actual activity of karate, and it's just something that kind of lives in you and helps with your ethos.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I'm really glad I did it when I was younger. Like, like that was definitely one of the better sports I did in all of the awful sports.
Yeah, better than the volleyball.
Yeah, I had to quit senior year, like I said.
Yeah, hey, you didn't want to waste your time anymore.
No, and
you
that's
had a higher calling.
Yeah, it was right before I started jiu-jitsu. Like I started it was like in the fall that I quit volleyball, and then the spring-ish, like I started jiu-jitsu. So.
Yeah. I know how it goes. That's pretty cool. So what kind of movies and stuff are you into? Do you watch a lot of Netflix and stuff?
I don't watch a ton of TV.
That's awesome. I think that's a really good thing for a martial artist, honestly. So it's so easy to get distracted by shit.
Eric and Ricky have been introducing me to all sorts of movies. We just watched the movie Split. I think it was yesterday at work.
That's a classic.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. Like we were
Did you see Glass?
No.
Oh, dude. No. It's like a 3-part thing.
Yeah, that's what Ricky was saying.
You got to see it.
That was an awesome movie. Like I loved it.
Yeah. I think who's the actor? He's the same guy from like X-Men First Class.
Charles Xavier.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. So like you watch X-Men and stuff?
Yeah.
Which X-Men do you think would be the best at jiu-jitsu?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. That's a really hard question. Can you answer it?
I just got into this, right? I think Nightcrawler. And it's because he can teleport behind you and take your back super easy.
Yeah. Good thought.
And he's got his tail to deal with one of your limbs. He's got 5 limbs. He's cheating. Like besides like Wolverine, right? Like I was saying, you can't.
I was gonna say that, but
you can't. I feel like you can't even. Claws. Yeah, it's like that's cheating. Like what I mean. So what I was saying, like if Wolverine didn't have the healing factor and he just had the metal bones and no claws, like I think you could fuck him up. Because like he's got heavy limbs.
True.
And you know what I mean? It's gonna make him really inflexible. I imagine. Like I'll heel hook the shit out of Wolverine. Don't quote me on it, but or the other one I was thinking is like Jean Grey, but like you can't even count that as jiu-jitsu because she's just telepathically, or telekinetically bending you. I don't know. If you could fight like any animal, like with jiu-jitsu, like what would you? Yeah, if you had to fight an animal, like what animal would you not want to fight?
Oh my gosh!
Like if you had to pick one,
like bear.
Yo, for real.
Nothing in the water. I'm like terrified of the water.
You wouldn't fight an alligator on land?
No, absolutely not.
On land?
No, they have like huge fangs and they like bite you and twist.
Oh yeah, the death roll. Yeah. It's interesting. I was in Louisiana earlier this year, and my uncle took us to like this highway bridge over like a bayou or some shit like that, and he had a bag of marshmallows, and I'm like, we're gonna feed.
I've seen this before,
they think it's like crack. It's crazy. But I remember like I was just throwing the marshmallows at him, and I'm just like looking down, and I'm like, I want like, cause it was like daddy alligator and then baby alligator, and I was just looking down, and I'm like, I wonder how big they would need to be before I'd need to start worrying, like in a fight. So I'm like, that 4'1", I could probably grease him up pretty good.
It would still hurt when they bite you.
Yo, but you just got to get around them, right? Because they're stiff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to pass their mouth guard.
Their mouth guard.
Would you rather fight a bear or like a lion?
Oh, man. Definitely. That's a really hard question, too. They're like the same weight. Probably a bear. I don't know.
No way. The bear's like, it's like a monster. Like bears are like strong as fuck, I guess. But like, did you see about the guy that like killed the mountain lion? Like he strangled it to death. It attacked him while he was on a run or something.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, wasn't that was this year?
Yeah. Right? It was either this year or last year, but that shit happened. I was like, get out of here. I couldn't believe it. I sort
of remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just like, I think like if you had a big cat, you'd have to like neon belly it and like you'd have to strangle it somehow like that or get its back or like, because a guillotine, the claws are going to get you. So it's got to be something where you get an angle on it, you know? A bear's just way stronger. I imagine the bear's going to fuck you up. There's no way. I feel like it would
be easier to take its back.
You think you could take the back of a bear?
Maybe.
Khabib could. I guess you can. I believe in you. All right. Yeah, so like do you have like what are some of your goals now? Like do you have any like goals in your jiu-jitsu career?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm actually going to start weightlifting more.
Nice.
Yeah, like I definitely need to put some strength on. I'm super lanky, like.
Yeah, dude. You like? I feel like that's an asset. You play a lot of legs.
Legs, yeah. Like guard is definitely like my thing. I love playing guard. So I want to start weightlifting, like get myself back into shape, like kind of fix my body a little bit, because you know, when you do jiu-jitsu a lot, you get kind of crooked and everything breaks.
You stop being ambidextrous. You start looking like Quasimodo.
We're gonna see what happens with COVID, but like I definitely want to do fight to win and do a lot more matches and stuff like that. But I think COVID's gonna ruin a lot of the competitions for next year.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a shame too. I guess winter time, it's like this is like the time to do it.
I know, yeah. So I just competed a bunch of times in like the past month and a half. So, and that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to get that accomplished, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's time to like really fix my mistakes that I made in the past month or so and just put on some strength and muscle and stuff like that.
Definitely. Do you have any like heroes in jiu-jitsu that you follow? Like do you have any fighters that you look up to? Like maybe specifically
I talk about
females?
females in jiu-jitsu like all the time.
Yeah.
Grace Gundrum.
Yeah.
Like I love her. I just watched her at Fight to Win. She was amazing.
Killed it.
Elizabeth Clay is awesome too. You know. There's a lot of them.
Would you ever take a fight with one of them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean like I would lose, but
but it would be fun.
Yeah.
That's cool to say you did it. That's awesome. Or what is it about them that makes you really like a fan of them?
I've been seeing Elizabeth Clay on Instagram since she was like a blue belt, and like I've been following like her stuff for a while, and she just like has been destroying everyone. Like watching her at the Subversive thing like in Philly was awesome.
Yeah.
Like she did incredible. Grace, I've just been such a big fan for a long time just because of like who she is, you know,
yeah,
like how
right?
quiet
she's so
she
unassuming.
Is. Yeah.
It's crazy. I remember when she got, I believe she beat Danielle Kelly and then got her black belt on the stage.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, Danielle Kelly. I forgot about her too.
But I remember like Grace, I saw her at the open mat that 10th Planet had. I think it was like on like Thanksgiving. Like they you know, they throw open mats. You should definitely go to like the next like holiday one that they
planning
do.
On it.
Yeah, they're awesome. But I remember I like congratulated her and she's just like, yeah. I was like, oh man. I would love to have her on the show. I don't know if she'd be willing to come grace me with her presence though. I'm glad you were. But that's awesome. Do you have any like submissions you're hunting for, like that you really want to get in comp?
So I like started to learn more about leg locks. I've been struggling with my finishes on the leg locks, and like I said, like I have like really weird feet, and it's like super hard to heel hook me.
Yeah, I imagine you have like you were saying like rubber feet. I can't believe like you're like bending like so deep.
They bend really weird. It really concerns a lot of people. Yeah. Like I said, I'm super guard oriented. And like I love arm bars and triangles, like especially triangles. Like it's my favorite.
Do you have like a submission that you haven't got that you'd like to get in comp?
I would love to just, man, that's a tough question because there's like a lot of stuff that I've been like trying to get. Like I want to get like a heel hook at some point.
You've never won a comp fight with a heel hook?
No.
Wow.
I got a knee bar.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, and I don't really do knee bars that much, so that was weird.
Yeah, I know like leg entanglements are huge right now.
They are, yeah, and that's why it's so important to learn. That's like one of the things I really need to focus in on, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So you've gotten like a lot of wins in like the finisher stuff and everything. Is there like a promotion that you really want to do, like besides like Fight to Win? Like is there like Naga and like what's your favorite one of those promotions to do? Like what are you looking forward to doing again?
Like I said before, like I really want to do Fight to Win sometime soon, just to try that out. Yeah. You know, I actually like in the next couple of years, I want to do like the ADCC trials.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Coach Ricky like keeps talking about it, like, and I'd like to do that. And by the time that happens, because it's going to be a while, because they like postponed it, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know a lot of guys that were like training up for it.
Yeah,
it's a shame
that's definitely like one of the things I definitely want to do. Try that out, and I have some time left, you know, because it's what year are they having the trials? Like next year or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I assume like if everything goes well, it'll be, you know, at a similar time. I don't think they're having them anywhere either. Like it's not just the United States ADCC trials that have been affected. It's pretty much worldwide.
Yeah. That's definitely something I want to try.
Yeah. There's a lot of other like events too. Would you ever like travel to Brazil to compete there?
Oh, at some point in the future, yeah.
Yeah, like you know what Copa Podio is? That's like their big thing.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I just had a guy on that won his match. He had like a super fight there. Yeah. It's a really nice promotion that they do there. It's similar to, like, it's like their fight to win kind of thing. It's really cool. And they take it like super serious. It's like UFC over there. Yeah. You know, it's Brazil.
I would love to do like more super fights and stuff like that. I got lucky because I like had so many opportunities this year, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Do you travel a lot? Like, do you do open mats like at other gyms a lot? Do you cross train?
No, like barely at all. And I definitely it's definitely something I want to do more. You know, it's a little tough right now, you know, with like gyms closing and stuff like that.
I think if you ask around, like I said, I've been traveling this year so much, and it's crazy. Like there's a lot of gyms like this that are just like kind of holes in the wall. Yeah, and there's killers. You know what I mean? There's just straight up killers in these places.
Oh yeah, like I went to Alliance the one day. That rolling was so crazy. Like, I got so sweaty. It was like I came out of a pool. And, like, I got home and I was just so sick the rest of the day. This was, like, months ago. Like, before COVID. And, like, I went way too hard. And then I went to Precision I think it was New Year's Day. And I was too socially awkward to ask anyone to roll. So I didn't really get a lot of rolling. Yeah, because, like, I can be shy. Like I said, like,
yeah, like here you're the you know, the top dog, but like at another place you walk in.
I talk to everyone in here. Like, all I do is talk. Like I said, I get in trouble for talking too much. But then, like, I go somewhere else and I'm too shy.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Would you so let me ask you about like your stand-up game. Like you said, you do like doing a lot of guard, but like do you prefer judo or wrestling? Like for your stand-up?
Definitely wrestling. So Coach Ricky is a wrestler, and like basically like he did it with me the one day, like just like a class on wrestling. Like that's definitely something I need to work on. That's another one of my goals. Yeah. Like I want to be wrestling because I think it's super important.
Yeah. I think some of the better guys I know are, you know, D1 wrestlers, obviously, that do jiu-jitsu. Like, they have, like, just a gift by layering the two. But, like, there's guys that can integrate, like, judo stuff and pull some of that stuff into the no-gi, like,
I was going to say, judo's definitely more for gi.
But, like, there's some things you can do that work in no-gi, and those guys are dangerous.
I don't know too much about stand-up because, like I said, like, I love guard. But it's definitely something I need to work on and want to work on. That's
cool. Do you think there's like, what are some sports that you think would translate really well into jiu-jitsu that you think maybe, like obviously wrestling is, you know, the
wrestling
one.
For sure.
But like, are there other like maybe unconventional sports?
I think like gymnasts and stuff like that tend to do well in jiu-jitsu or tend to like pick it up easier just because like they can move and stuff like that and bend. Like, we even had this girl in the kids class, and I think she did gymnastics, and she did great. Yeah. Like, she would, like, destroyed, like, the other boys in the class, and it was awesome. And I think it's because she did that, you know, just being able to move and, like, being flexible and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, too, where I was saying, like, before I did jiu-jitsu, like, one of the things that I was – like my serious sport was ultimate frisbee. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like football with a frisbee kind of thing. But he was just saying like that explains, because I was rolling with him and he was like, that explains why your legs are like so strong in like a leg entanglement. I'm not saying I'm a good leg locker. I'm just saying I got some meaty legs here. But he was saying like, you know, like my ankle stability, like anyone that does field sports like that, like there's probably a lot of benefits that people don't account for that might translate to jiu-jitsu.
Like any sort of like sport or like athletic activity is going to help you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying you have to be like a crazy athlete when you come in, but it definitely helps.
It definitely
like I
helps.
wasn't an athlete when I came in, obviously. Like,
well, like you were a bench warmer, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like you were like a collegiate, like, you know, Olympian kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Anything like that.
I like worked out and that was about it.
Do you find that like people who weightlift like have a problem like controlling like themselves in jiu-jitsu a lot of the time, or like maybe it's not as much of a factor?
I think a lot of the like really muscular people that come in start to realize that their muscles aren't that useful if they don't have jiu-jitsu behind them. You know, like I think it's important to like be in shape. Like when you get to like a certain level, like put on some muscle, so then you have like that strength behind your jiu-jitsu. But if you come in like super muscular, like it doesn't really help you that much. You know?
Definitely. Do you have like a story about how like you like maybe you traveled to like a place with like teammates? Like I'll give you an example like of one of mine. Like one time we went to my first Naga, and it was battle at the beach, and we went to the beach. We were hanging out, and we didn't wear sunscreen or anything, like my team. Oh man. And then the next day, like the comp came, and it was just like you had the gi on, and like they would go for a thing, and you're just like, oh, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. I sunburn really badly, so I know that feeling. Like this summer I sunburned like 4 times, and I kept coming in here super red. Yeah, I'm super pale, so I know how that feels.
Do you have any like jiu-jitsu stories though, like you and some teammates doing some shenanigans or anything like that?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but like at finishers this past weekend, like a lot of my teammates were there, and honestly, I feel like we had the most fun out of like any team. You know, like we really did.
How many of you went?
Oh my gosh, how many of us went, Eric? To finishers? I think we had 7 people competing, and then maybe like 9 or 10 of us. I don't know. There's like a group picture of us.
Yeah.
Like we just had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Like Ricky would be out there and he would give us a thumbs up, that kind of stuff. Yeah, like we just have a good time because we have such a good team. Yeah,
like the dynamic is tight here.
Yeah.
Do you think coaching is really important in a match, or do you think?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it depends because a lot of people don't hear the coaching, you know, because you're out there and you just have like an adrenaline rush. Yeah, but honestly, so the one coach, Nick, is like the best coach in the entire world. And it's literally like thanks to him that I won some of the matches that I did. He's like super loud, super clear, and he like really coaches you through the match and like supports you, you know, like all of our coaches are really good at that, you know. I think it is important, like somebody to tell you the time, stuff like that.
Yeah. Something we've been trying to do at my gym a little bit, I'm trying to convince guys to do it a little more. Like when you're taking like your rest rule, like you should like, I've been saying it in like terms of like Pokemon. Like I should take like these 2 white belts that are rolling. I should coach one and you should coach one. It's like the higher belts.
Yeah.
And it just, not only does it make you a better coach, so like in an actual comp situation, I can like have good advice coming my way.
Yeah.
But you start to hear your teammates' voices and you can kind of pick it out of the abyss.
So true. You know? Yeah. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. It's definitely something I've been trying to integrate a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do you do any like striking now? Like, have you ever thought about doing like combat jiu-jitsu?
No, I haven't like considered any of that. Like, we don't even really do striking here too much. We're talking about like making a class for that and stuff. But it's been a long time. Yeah.
Do you have any like long-term goals in jiu-jitsu? Like obviously you're black belt, but do you ever want to open your own gym or something like that?
I don't want to open my own gym. For sure. I just like want to keep becoming a better competitor, you know, because it was like honestly a huge struggle for me to like do what I did so far, just because of like being anxious about competing, not really having experience competing in anything, you know. I just want to keep getting better at it. Yeah. You know, like I want to keep competing until I'm a black belt and just see what I can do. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you think there's a moment where you'll be satisfied? Like, is there an end all like, oh, if I beat, you know, X, Y, or Z? Nah.
No.
It's never going to end. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think having that hunger and that mentality is what keeps it keeps your drive from like drying up, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I just want to keep getting better at it because I still have like a long way to go. Like I still have to improve.
Yeah,
way
immensely,
more.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Anytime I like walk off the mat, and especially like the Fuji competition, I ended up getting third. But like I was losing like by like just like margins by like points. Like I didn't get subbed at all, but I was like, fuck. Like after that, the next week, I'm like, dude, all I want to do is guard passing. Like that's all I wanted to do. Like I'm like, I don't give a shit about the subs anymore because the matches I did win were subs.
Yeah.
It's like obviously I'm good at that. I need to stop people from passing my guard and farming points on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you kind of do when you lose? Do you like get into a mentality, like do you get beat up about it and then like kind of like take a day off to blow off the steam first?
I get like a little sad about it sometimes.
No doubt.
Yeah, like more so now than I used to, which is weird. But like I'll be upset about it for like a little bit and then I'm like, all right, like that's the name of the game. Like we all have to lose.
Yeah,
know?
definitely.
And that's how it is. And then my coaches like Eric and Ricky like always tell me like what I need to change, like what I did wrong, like what I need to improve for the next match. So they're super helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a really like mature mindset to have about it too. How's your diet and everything? Like, do you eat specific stuff because you train, or do you kind of just eat loose until you have to compete?
That's another question that a white belt asked me the other day.
Oh yeah.
Like how my diet is. And honestly, being 22 and training like 5 times a week, I eat whatever I want. That's another thing that we were talking about that I like need to fix this year. Like in addition to like working out and stuff like that, I definitely want to start eating better. Yeah, because I can kind of eat whatever I want, you know, and be fine, and I feel fine. I definitely need to drink more water. That is huge. Like I really need to drink more.
Do you have any like secret sauce like before you go to compete? Like do you eat anything specific the night before or something like that?
So because I like said I had really bad anxiety before competing, like it was super hard for me to eat.
Yeah, in the early game.
Yeah, and actually the one thing I noticed is like eating fruit like the day you're competing actually is pretty easy to eat, and it like wouldn't like upset my stomach or anything, you know?
Yeah, like pineapples and stuff.
Yeah, like mango. Like that was like the first thing that I was like starting to eat before I competed, you know?
That's awesome. I do a similar thing. Bananas are one that I do, and then yeah, pineapples are huge for me. You said mango, but pineapple, blueberries.
Yeah, because like I said, like I had a really hard time like wanting to eat something before competing, and that helped. Yeah. So
how do you like? Do you eat anything like right before a match? Like I had a friend. No, I had a friend of mine tell me like pop in like a Starburst to give you like you know like a gummy
that,
candy.
The sugar,
yeah, like that sugar rush would help you.
I know people that like ate pizza and went right out.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
Yeah, my coach did that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I guess like it's one of those things. They're young yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Must be nice. I can't fuel myself with garbage anymore. It doesn't work. So what do you have any like special strategies for weight cutting and stuff? Like you were just saying like you're cutting weight to do your next fight.
Or no, I did cut
weight. Oh, you did cut.
Well,
I'm sorry.
So I actually had like a lot of help through it because I never really cut that much before.
Yeah. How many pounds did you have to cut?
Like 10.
Damn. Yeah.
So, and we did it like pretty quickly because I did the 155 tournament and I was like 145-ish and I needed to cut down to 135.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So basically it was just like eating chicken and salad all week, like really low sodium. And like barely any carbs, and then just drying myself out the day before. Yeah. I went in a sauna with a sauna suit. It was torture.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a sauna here?
No, luckily, like I knew someone that had one. I did like cardio with like a ton of layers, just sweated everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so thirsty the next day.
Yeah, I know. Like, so you did that the night before the comp?
Yeah, well, 2 nights before, because it was like video weigh-ins.
Oh, cool. So you got to weigh in the day before by video.
Yeah.
And
that's
then you had a gallon of water like out of frame.
Oh, yeah. Like after I weighed in, I chugged like a gallon of Pedialyte. Yeah. Like I was sweating, like drinking it. It was terrible.
That's funny, yeah. What's your Pedialyte flavor that you like?
I like anything blue.
Yeah, the blue one? The orange one's my go-to, man. That's
orange. I'm not a fan of citrus. So.
Oh, man. Killing my vibe right now. That's like the best one. It's so funny. I remember I told my mom that I drink Pedialyte before competitions, and she it just like blew her away that like that's like a common thing.
It is. Yeah, it helps.
A lot of people that do that, like Pedialyte, because it's like supposed to be for kids, like sick kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it helps so much.
Oh my God, it's night and day. It like turns me on. Like it makes me feel like I'm like revitalized.
Yeah. I had like this crazy kidney infection I told you about.
Yeah.
I drank so much Pedialyte. It helped so much because I was like dying for a week.
Did you have to compete like near that time when you were sick?
So I was supposed to do SOGI, like
last one.
Yeah, the one before the last SOGI event. I was supposed to do that event that weekend, and it was like a week before I got this crazy kidney infection.
Damn, dude.
And thought I was gonna die. It was horrible.
I bet.
Horrible. I had like a fever, like sharp pain.
Damn.
And I thought so a couple days before, I thought I had like a rib injury.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I injured my ribs, and I was like, okay, like I have a pain here, like.
And it just kept getting worse.
Yeah, and then I woke up the one morning, my whole body ached, like.
Damn.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I just got a rib injury recently too, and I thought it was a hernia at first because like something just feels out of place, but it's just like swelling. Like I have my buddy that's like a athletic trainer guy that like does massage and all that good stuff, and he was like, "Nah, you're just being a bitch." Because it was funny. The other day I was at Studio 84, and I was taking their boxing class because like I got invited to do the jiu-jitsu class because I had interviewed Steve, the guy that did the Copa Podio match.
Yeah.
And after like he had to go do like some training before he weighed in, and then I was just kind of hanging out still. Mm-hmm. And they just invited me to do the jiu-jitsu class, but I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of other classes between now and then. I may as well take them. And my buddy was like, if your rib was broken or anything like that, you would not have been able to do that. If you had a hernia, you would have died, like doing all the stuff that you just said you did. So, but yeah, it's crazy because I can do all these different things, but rolling sucks. Like, it's the worst when you have an injury that stops you from like live rolling, what you said is your favorite. It's my favorite too. So like I have to like pick like, I guess I'm gonna just drill. Yeah. Don't do neon belly on me, or else I'll be like Spider-Man and just turn to dust. Oh my God, that's crazy though. But yeah, we've been running almost like an hour and a half, a little bit more. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything specific? Got in the woodwork coming up?
No, I'm good.
All right, that's awesome. If people want to follow you on like Instagram and stuff, your info's down there, obviously. But do you want to give any shout outs or anything before we cut it?
Just shout out to Eric and Ricky, because they're both my coaches. And
hell yeah.
They're great. So, and especially to Eric, because honestly, he's supported me so much through all this.
Definitely. Yeah. And big thank you for letting us use this space as well. And that logo is super sweet. I don't think I've been to a gym that like captures that captures the vibe quite like this. This is definitely the coolest art I've seen in a jiu-jitsu gym ever.
Yeah.
But all right, thanks a lot, Raquel.
Thank you.